Welcome back. I'm so glad you've come to join me again today for Crafting with Claus. That's me, Jessica Kringle, and we are counting down the 25 days of Christmas with a different craft project each day so that you can count down with me and have wonderful things to show. So first, let's do our countdown. Oh, I love our Advent calendar, and today is December 5th. Wow. Just 20 more days until Christmas. I'm so excited. So today we're going to be making some sweet treats that are not only decorative and fun, but they're also yummy and they'd make a lovely gift. So these are little Santa trains, and they're made out of a variety of little sweets and goodies, and they're really, really easy to make. This won't take any time at all. Actually, the biggest challenge is finding all of the parts. Now, the beginning piece is a pack of gum, but you need this size gum. Any kind is fine, but they don't really make these very often anymore. They're hard to find, and so I was able to find these in one of those dollar stores where everything is $1. So a pack of gum and a pack of Lifesavers. These also a little difficult to find in individual packs, but they do come in a pack of 3 in the dollar stores. These also came in a pack of 3 in the dollar stores, so that was very, very convenient. You'll also want some of these little red and white mints for the front wheel, and then you'll want a round chocolate disc, and most of them have some sort of decorative picture on them. Those are the back wheels of our little train. And then we have a little kiss, that's the smokestack, and it's fun because this little piece of paper looks like there's smoke coming out of it. And then we have a little peanut butter cup for the back end. I also found a lot of these things at the dollar stores, so didn't cost too much. And then you'll want a little chocolate Santa, and these go on the back of our train, whoops, so that he's riding on the back there, see? And so these come in little packages also of several. And then the last thing, oh yes, you'll want, I found Red Hots. They're not always easy to find, believe it or not. In the store that I went to, these were in the holiday section. They didn't have any in the candy section, and they didn't have any in the cake decorating section. But I was thinking that it would be just as easy. This is the little red spot on the front of our train. And you know, you could use any little red candy there. That would be just fine. So if it had an M on it or an S on it, then I think that would work just fine. And you know, S could be for Santa Claus, and you know what candy I'm talking about there. So, and then you get to eat the others. Now, I don't want to forget to say this. We're going to be using these little Red Hots for another project we're going to be making later when we do some baking projects. So 1 or 2, but don't eat them all, okay? You want to make sure that you've got plenty left for the upcoming projects if you do purchase these. So you will need your hot glue tool for this one. I cannot imagine that anything, any of the school glues, or maybe the tacky glue, but you'd have to be really patient and hold it for a very long time. The great thing about this also is that, except for the little Red Hot candy, you can eat every single one of these. So after the train gets dismantled, everything is in its wrapper and it's perfectly good. The glue didn't touch or ruin anything, and so it's an edible treat that's cute. All right, so the first thing we want to do is take our little pack of gum, whatever kind you choose. I kind of went with a red and green motif here. So, and you're going to put a line of glue on the gum pack, and then put the Lifesavers right on top of there. You can even wait a second so that the glue sets and cools off a little bit, so it's not quite as hot when you set that on there. Not a big deal for these. Might be a little better for the chocolates. Okay, and then on the side of here, we're going to put a dab of glue in the front and a dab of glue in the back on this side. Now the little mint goes in the front, and I like to make sure that the open edge of this is against the glue, just so that it looks prettier. Oops, and you got to hold it for a second, and then we'll take one of the large chocolate discs and put it in the back. And you want to kind of make sure that they're both sticking up about the same amount so that when you set it down, it doesn't flop over to one side there. The funny thing about the hot glue is that sometimes it makes little spider webby strings all over the place. Okay, those should be set. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So little dab of glue, and then we make sure that we put the little red and white mint in the front and a little chocolate disc in the back, all decorative there, and still trying to make sure that they about line up, pretty even, not exact, but so that the wheels are the same distance. These smell so good. You can smell the mint and the cinnamon. It's wonderful. I just almost want to eat them and not even save them. But these will be gifts for other people. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a red hot. I'm going to take 2 because I'm actually going to make 2 of these trains. So I can show you quickly. And then what I'll make sure I do also is put in the comments of the YouTube page, I'll make sure that I put the things that you would need to purchase. And I'll do the same on the Facebook page as well. So I put a little dab of glue on the front of the Lifesaver packet. And then we're going to very carefully, making sure we don't get our fingers in there, put our little red candy in the front there to be the front of the train. It's kind of like the light on the front. And then we're going to put little dabs of glue on the top of the train, one for the smokestack and one for the back end. Okay, and then I like to make sure, I like to make sure that the little trail of smoke is toward the back of the train when I set this down, so I pay attention to that. And then we'll put the peanut butter cup right here, those little mini peanut butter cups. All right, and then we want to make sure we've got our conductor, and our conductor is Chris. So we'll put, because these don't line up perfectly in the back, it's better to put the glue right on the chocolate Santa. And then, oops, there's a big old glob. And then set this on here and see where it is able to touch and stick. Usually it's just to the peanut butter cup and the gum. It doesn't really stick to the Lifesavers because it's set in a little bit. I like to line the Lifesaver up to the front of the train. And that's all there is to it. We're done with one, so I'm going to quickly make another one. And I'll make sure that you get close-ups of these and also the list of the things you buy. So once again, really quickly, line of glue on the pack of gum, whatever kind of gum you choose. Again, I liked the red and the green. It looked more Christmassy, but the yellow would have been just fine as well. Okay, and you can really do this in any order. It doesn't even matter when you put what on here. So this time I'm putting the little red candy on the front next. And then I like to, because it's easier to hold it, I like to put the wheels on before I put the smokestack and the back end on. It's just easier for me to be able to hang on to it. But really, again, it doesn't matter what order you go in. And again, making sure I have the wrapper on the inside so that it doesn't open up sticking out. And then our back wheel. And the glue cools quickly, but not so quickly that you have to go crazy trying to hurry with it too much. So, and I love that as soon as you put that on there, it is stuck. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing to the other sides. Little dabs of glue. And a little mint. Oops. Oh, my mom has made these for us for years. My mom sent these to me, and she sends them to the elves. So it's from my mom that I learned how to make this. Wonderful little Christmas train. Okay, dab of glue on the front, dab of glue on the back. We will make sure that our smokestack is pointed toward the back. Have you read The Polar Bear Express? I know that there's a movie as well, but I surely prefer to read books. So you could read The Polar Bear Express while you make these, or have someone read it to you as you think about your trains and how much you love trains. It's a wonderful story. I know that it's a movie as well, but I do love books. And, of course, we put Mr. Claus on the back of our little train. And there we go. We are done. So that's how you make these little Christmas trains. And again, if you need me to give you a list of the candies that we bought to make these, then I will make sure that I put them on the Facebook page and at the bottom of the YouTube channel, okay? So we will see you tomorrow when we will be working with some salt dough and making some ornaments. Love the salt dough. Okay, well, thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.